taxes, saying there was nothing out of the ordinary about the concessions.
Fortis will pay no withholding tax on their dividends. That is not special. No shareholder, nobody who owns shares in BL pays withholding tax on dividends, because that was a position that in fact was offered to all shareholders by the PUP. And there is the letter that I produced in the House from the Commissioner of Income Tax declaring that that is the law, that is how it has been for 10 years or so now. That's number one. With respect to the payment that we gave to Fortis by way of the settlement, the $70 million or whatever it is, this is a form of compensation. It is akin to a judgment debt. There is no tax liability on judgment debts. There is no tax liability on the payment of compensation. We passed a law that governs compensation, and if you look at that, it will be made clear there is no tax liability on compensation. So again, there's nothing special that we've done for Fortis. That is par for the course whenever there is a settlement. On the transfer of shares, there is no tax on the transfer of shares when government is the transferor. So nothing that they can point to is other than what obtains for anybody in similar circumstances. And let me just repeat, how can you call this secret when it was all disclosed and put on the table, both at the time of the press conference and at the time of the thoroughgoing debate that was held in the National Assembly, both in the House and in the Senate, when the law was passed? Look, don't allow them in their last gasp, in their last ditch efforts to try and gain the traction that has eluded them certainly since the start of this year, and for these entire almost 11 months that have transpired. Don't allow them to use what is stale, what is not new, and what has no validity. Don't allow them to try to employ that to generate momentum for themselves that simply is not there.
But is this just much ado over nothing? That question came up at the press briefing this morning, since the Prime Minister had made mention of a statement of comfort which he